Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my October monthly reset. Now most people do this sitting down in one spot, but I decided instead of just sitting in one spot and talking to you guys for 20 minutes, I'm actually going to just kind of show you guys how I reset, deep clean, but also show you guys some of the practices that I use and some of the things that I maybe didn't say in this video, but I will say it in voiceover. So I'm sorry if this is laggy. Hopefully when this uploads is not laggy. For whatever reason, like I tried everything and this part of the video was just lagging for whatever reason. But anyway, as you guys can see, so this is the back of my room. If you're new to my channel, you've probably never seen it. I've shown it here or there, but this is like what I like to call my storage space. So a majority of my clothes is back here. I have a lot of storage bins because I just don't have enough space to put them in my drawer. Don't mind my drawer. That thing broke and I fixed it, and the handle, and then it broke again. So generally, yeah, this is where my outside clothes is. This is where my sheets are. This is where my like church clothes is, and then like any fancy event clothes, that's generally what's back in. Also, I have like storage bins with like just like hair accessories that I don't have in my other storage bin. I just got a whole lot, but I just needed to reorganize that space, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of reorganizing the bins because what was happening is after I folded the laundry, I got lazy and I didn't want to pick up the bin, because I'm not gonna lie, that bin, not the one I just picked up, but I have another bin. I guess I didn't show you guys. That one was heavy. You'll see it's like a dark green bin because I have so much summer clothes that I sat there and folded and compiled in there, so it's super heavy when I lift it up. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why I was like, I don't feel like lifting it up, but I was like, no, we got to get together, because it's very true. Like when your space is like messy, then you're like, you can't function. Like I would just look at it, I'm like, this needs to be clean, this needs to be clean. So since it was my off day, because we had the day off, I was like, well, today's my day off, but this was actually last night. I just randomly was like, you know what, let's just tackle it tonight. And I spent like majority of the night just cleaning back of this room and getting it up to par. Oh, I forgot, I swapped them, so you guys didn't actually see it. It's actually currently at the bottom, the dark green bin I was talking about. I swapped it because although dark green bin had, like I said, it had like summer clothing, and since it's no longer summer, we transitioned into fall and then into winter, I just put all like my heavy bulky sweaters and stuff like that on the top bin and left it like that. And now I'm just folding up my towels, putting them more neater so that they're not like all over the place. I have too many towels, not enough space in the bin, but we make it work. Now this is the brand I'm showing you guys. This is actually a Cora. I've been using them. I like them so far, but like it just depends. There was one day I just could not wear them. They're like very but they're pretty much organic cotton pads. So I'm trying to move into organic pads, but it's rough out here. So it's like hit or miss. Like I said, I used it for 4 of my days of my period, but one day I was like, yeah, this is not gonna cut it. Anyway, back to this. So a next goal for me is social media. So since I'm showing one of my cameras, I do own 2 cameras. I've spent a lot on, for like software, but also like I have 2 cameras now, and then I have a tripod. I have all these other stuff. But anyway, so as I clean this part, this is like a lot of my miscellaneous stuff, like books, journals, also like a lot of important documents that I really want to get a shredder. Somebody be like, you're a hoarder, but no, like I just can't, for whatever reason, any personal documents with like my personal identifiable information, you will not catch me. Like I need to get a shredder, and then I can shred what needs to be shredded. I just refuse to throw it in the garbage. I don't know why. It's like a phobia. So that's what you're gonna see me like, just compiling and cleaning that up, because also sometimes the documents, let's say I need to refer to something, I can always go into them. But anyway, back to social media. So the goals of course, is YouTube. I think I'm the most active on here, honestly, because one, I can make lengthier videos. Two, I just feel like a lot of brands seem to find me from YouTube, whereas Instagram kind of not really, and TikTok, I mean, yeah, I guess, but not really, because I'm still growing my TikTok just because I haven't been consistent. I know consistency is the key for me to grow on it, but it's just like I'm so very particular. I don't know why when it comes to like Instagram and TikTok, in terms of what I want to post. But I'll get more into depth of like that aspect as we'll get towards the end of this video. But yeah, focusing on YouTube. So I really wanted to get to 1,300 subscribers. I'm currently at 1,200. That's my goal, at least for this month. Now, if I can surpass it, that's great. But overall, by the end of the year, I'm crossing my fingers. I want to be at 1,500, and that's a really big goal. But that's also something that I'm trying to do, because I'm really trying to grow on this platform. I've been on this platform now. It actually was my YouTube anniversary like 2 days ago, I believe, which is crazy. But yeah, I have been on YouTube for 4 years. It doesn't even feel like 4 years. And so I'm really trying to grow this because I do love doing YouTube. I do like creating content, whether it's vlogging. And I've really been loving doing these reset routines a lot. I don't know why. It's good. I like watching them, but it's also nice to like film them too. I don't know why. It's just nice to see people clean their stuff and then make it all clean again and all that stuff. But that's for YouTube. And then for Instagram, my Instagram has been wishy-washy. Like, I just lost a lot of followers and then it grew back. And then honestly, I'll be really honest with you, when it comes to Instagram, I'm not really going crazy for Instagram as I was in the beginning. To be very honest with you, I grew faster on Instagram when I first started my YouTube channel, but as it seems, like, even though I have less followers on YouTube as of right now, I feel like I've gained so much benefits from YouTube more than I have from Instagram, if that makes sense. So this is why I'm very like, people may not see me post as much on Instagram, although I am trying to have a consistent schedule on Instagram. I post more on YouTube because I see growth coming from it and things of that nature. And then lastly is TikTok. Like I said, I haven't really been like really good. I feel like when I'm not, like when I'm on a break, or sometimes if like I have like a whole week off or something, that's when I really like sit there and do YouTube. Do TikTok. But I feel like for me, a good thing that I could easily do, but I always like, I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, is doing singing duets. Yeah. If you want to see me sing, I'm only doing it on TikTok, so you gotta go on there. But those majority of them seem to do really well on my TikTok personally. So I definitely want to do more of them. But every time I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'm like, yeah, and then I don't do it. And I feel like for certain TikToks like that specifically, it has to be quiet. It can't be noise in the background. So like, if I have noise in the background, it generally is not happening. But anyway, now I'm on to my desk. Now this definitely needs to be cleaned out. What I did was sort this out. I got this bin from Dollar Tree, but I wanted to reorganize it because there's just so much going on. I have makeup in the back, which has always been there, which is fine. That part is pretty much organized, but I haven't used my desk in so long. Like the last time I think I used my desk was 2020. I don't think any of last year. Maybe some of last year I used it, but not in the way that I wanted to when I initially got my desk. So what I did here was kind of remove, I have an old laptop, which I need to, at some point, I want to like go in there and like clean out the laptop and then maybe donate it so that that laptop is gone. I still also have my MacBook, but I still don't know what I'm doing with my MacBook because I can't get into my MacBook. But anyway, the goal was to just kind of at least create some space so that I could have space to sit there like I used to, because I used to actually sit at my desk, either read something, plan something. That's usually what I used to do. So that's what you see me doing here. In a few after I finish cleaning the space, that I'll be able to actually use it for what it's intended instead of being on my bed. Not that I don't like my bed, but sometimes you just need to sit in the actual space to get things done. The next thing I want to talk about is health. So definitely I've been slacking really badly going to the gym, especially now that I've got back to work. I thought I was going to be better about it, but I don't think I made a vow to myself that I'm just going to start carrying like my workout pants. It just depends on the day, really, but I feel like this year, a part of my health or just like my self-care and stuff like that is, well, this school year I should say, is not always wearing leggings. Like last year I kind of didn't have a choice. Well, I had a choice, but I wanted to be comfortable because the type of job that I was doing. But this year I feel like I've been more dressier, if that makes sense. And so with that, I would have to carry my leggings if I don't wear leggings that day. But discipline. Anyway, so that's that. As you guys can see, talking about health, something that I do for my mental health is journaling, but also I'm doing on this self-love journey book that I'm doing. So this part had a lot of questions to answer, and so that's what I'm working on. This book is actually on Amazon, so if anybody's interested, I'll leave the link. I'll leave the link for anything that was mentioned, majority at least, in the description box. But that's this book I've been doing. I'm almost done with the book actually, but I just been trying to do like a chapter a week I could probably read the whole thing in one stretch, but sometimes, like, especially like this part after writing and answering all those questions kind of hurts your hands and then you get tired. So, but yeah, I do enjoy writing. That's something new that I realized that I really enjoyed this year specifically. Last year I did a little bit of journaling, but this year I feel like I've done a lot. Now let's get into more writing. So I'm actually trying to plan October. Well, the rest of October. So as you guys can see, I'm writing all these ideas. Now I did get a little help from Instagram. Somebody had posted a like social media content calendar for the whole month of October. So I pretty much went through that and then took from it what I felt like would be attainable to me as a person, but also to my brand, and kind of just wrote down ideas that I wanted to do. Now I only stopped because my hands were getting tired. That was number one, and I felt like I planned enough content for the next like about 3 weeks, I would say, because I think I stopped at like the week of October 20 or something like that. And I was like, I'll come back to that later because my hands was hurting, and I wanted to. At that point, I was getting tired because I still did work that day, so I was already tired. And I was just like, all right, let's just finish this part. So I used that content calendar as like a guide, and then some of the stuff, like I copied it down, like how I would do it or what would be added, so that when it's time to make that IG post. And that's really what I was writing here. A lot of the stuff that I was writing was IG/Reels posts, because again, even though I've said like I have a love and hate relationship when it comes to Instagram, I'm still trying to stay active on it, of course. So I think with this content calendar, at least I can be more active during this month, as opposed to like I feel like last month I posted here and there, but it wasn't that much. And I also just wrote a couple of YouTube ideas. I have a lot of YouTube stuff, but a lot of the stuff too, the stuff that I want to do for you guys, like this is something that's not brand related or anything, but I do also have some brand related stuff, but I'm still waiting for the packagings and stuff like that, and that's why I have not done any video on that for you guys as far as brand partnerships go. So yeah, if you guys aren't though following my Instagram, definitely go follow me on there as well, because I feel like I put a lot of more. Like, if you want to see day-to-day stuff, like, if I went somewhere, you'll see it on Instagram. Whereas I feel like YouTube will see it, like, after the fact, because, of course, like, I'm doing a longer video for YouTube. So if you want to see, like, day-to-day stuff that might not even go on here, too, sometimes, Instagram is where you should go. I do think I want to bring back shorts too, but I feel like shorts is so difficult with YouTube. I started it at first, but it's just for me. I feel like Instagram and TikTok is very quick to do it, whereas YouTube, it is quick, but the thing is, YouTube is very particular about copyright, and I personally don't want to use the songs, and the songs that they do have, they cut at a certain point, so then I always have to like go outside and use like my music, copyright free music by Thematic. If you've never heard of Thematic, I'll leave it down below. I personally love their music, their sounds on there, so that is the sound you probably would hear. You will hear a song from Thematic on here. Now, lastly, I wanted to tackle reading my Bible. So that's another thing spiritually wise, but also I feel like for your self-care and your mental well-being, something that I want to really get with is reading my Bible consistently. So as you guys see, that's what I'm doing. And I also have a Bible journal now. I actually did not use it this time, or did I? Oh yes, I did use it. Now sometimes I don't use it. Sometimes I just read the Bible, because I personally like to read, like I like to jot down scriptures that like I'm like, ooh, that really like caught my attention. Those are the scriptures that I generally write down. Because obviously if you just write every scripture down, that's a lot of scriptures that to be writing. So I just pick like a specific scripture. Sometimes it'll be one or two, sometimes it's normally one, and I jot that down, like that caught my attention. And pretty much my Bible journal, I also leave it in the description box, but I really like it because it's like you write the scripture, then you reflect your reflections. So what do you think it means? Like, what did you gain from it, or what do you learn from it? And then the last part is like a prayer based on that scripture or whatever, everything that you reflected on. So as you guys can see, I'm just gonna go ahead and read that, and then after I finish reading, something that I've been doing with the Bible, I've been doing like at least 2 chapters. At least 2 chapters within whatever book that I choose. Now I do have somebody on TikTok, actually there was a lot of people actually on TikTok that were showing like how to read the Bible, and they were showing like, so I did learn this in school years ago, but you think I would remember it, like the different books of the Bible. So which ones are laws, major prophets, minor prophets. So I've been actually, I don't know if you guys saw that posted in front of my Bible, but I've been actually using that as a guide to choose like what I want to read. Some people read from Genesis to Revelation straight, like in that order, but I just feel like it's been really better and working for me to kind of skip through the Bible and go to different parts of the Bible to access information for something specific, if that makes sense. Like if I'm looking for a specific topic, I rather do it that way and then get more knowledge on that way and study the Bible that way. That hasn't been effective for me. Everybody's different. Especially me as younger, going to a Christian school, like we did have like a challenge read from Genesis, and I just couldn't do it. But I feel like as I got older, I found out like what works for me, and it's kind of like looking for a specific topic and then going from there in terms of which book I'm going to read, and so on and so forth. So now I'm done with that. Now after I took a shower, I want to quickly put this up finally. I've been saying how many weeks is going to put it up. This is a dry erase marker, calendar board, and pretty much essentially I was supposed to be using it to jot down my things for the year, but I still have my planner, and now I'm still contemplating. I think I'm still going to get a planner for next year. I didn't buy one yet because I was like, I'll just use this as my content calendar, but I still don't know yet. So I actually have not bought one. So I'm like, if I could use this dry erase board, I can just write all the content in terms of content. But I also have an Excel sheet, so that's my other option. Because I'm not saying that I don't like planners, but it does take up a lot of space. I have so many planners from another year. Anyway, so I'm actually not writing content on here. I found this self-care calendar, and somebody put on Instagram, which I will link them, I'll give them the credit, but pretty much is a whole month self-care calendar, just like the social media calendar. But It's just things to do for self-care. So for example, like all Thursday I think is mapped up of you get to choose your own self-care. It's up to you. Then one of them is like go find a therapist. I actually am in therapy already, so it's something that I decided to do because I felt like I just feel like this year for me personally was just stressful. So yeah, I already had that one covered, so that kind of checked that out of my box. There was one like stay off social media. I don't know if I could be able to stay off all day because that day I actually need to be on social media for something, but we'll see about that. Some other ones is like put some fresh sheets on your bed. You should probably do that all the time anyway. Just buy your favorite chips. One is like watch your favorite movie. It's very simplistic things, but it's great things to kind of get you into the self-care habit, because literally this is right on top of my bed, so I can look, oh, today is this day, and I do whatever self-care activity I want to do. But I think I covered everything that I wanted to do. Oh yeah, and another thing of self-care that I wanted to do was more outing this year, so going outside more, even if it's during the weekends, so that I can breathe fresh air, be outside, experience nature, and yeah, just take care of myself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Did I add that? Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. So make sure you like, you comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching as well. Bye.